Alright, I think it's about that time for another Renix engine monitor update. What's been going on with the business, and, just general stuff in general. So, before I start all this off, I just want to mention, as always, check out the website for your curiosity needs. nickandtimedesign.wordpress.com. Give you everything you need. Got products for the latest products, all the old versions, stuff like that. We got some support, fact page, will answer all your questions, downloads for all kinds of stuff like Renix updates and cool things like service manuals and stuff like that. Very useful. So yeah, check out the website. It's good stuff. Do it. Alright, so, let's start off with the usual Renix engine monitor stuff. So, where the heck's my Renix engine monitor? Well, they're all sold. The reason why I haven't had a public sale yet is because I haven't had the time to build them fast enough yet. I've been stuck in pre-order land. I ordered 50 of these clock panels. 50 of them. They're all sold. All of them. In, what was it, 1 month? Maybe 2 months? I don't remember if it started in, I think, October. So yeah, in 2 months, they're all sold. So I'm going to blur out the stuff here, but yeah, pre-orders, man. Pre-orders. I couldn't catch a break. I wasn't able to even make a public sale because so many darn people wanted them. So, yeah. Sorry I was never able to make a public sale. I just haven't had the time. So, yeah, sorry if you guys wanted the clock but weren't aware of what was going on. I wanted to make a video, but no time. My laptop crapped out on me. The graphics card was going in and out, and I finally just decided to fucking give up the smoke, give up the ghost. So that's another Mac down. That's 2 MacBook Pros down. A 2010 that bit the dust, a 2012 that bit the dust, both graphics card issues. So we're going to try 2015 now. Thank you, eBay. So, still recovering for that. Still trying to install files, get everything rolling again. So, videos have been a little tough. Everything has been really tough. That and, with the printer not working with me, vacation, and trying to remember how to enjoy life. It's, yeah, things have been getting a little hectic around here. So, yeah, keeping up on pre-orders and building and all that, it's a lot. It really is. So, yeah, apologies for people that did want the clocks but weren't able to get some because it was never on eBay or Etsy. No time. So, yeah, there's a lot of little things that I want to do, little fixes for board design. Real quick, before I get into that, though, I still have some standards left, okay? I'm still printing out standards up there. I think I have about 25 of them left. If the pre-orders finally slow down and I can start actually building and getting on top of stock, I do want to have one public sale. So if I can have one public sale, it'll probably be, maybe partially on Etsy, partially on eBay. I'll see if I can sell the last 20 then. But again, that requires me catching up on everything, printing everything out, building them. Yeah, if you want one, get on the pre-order list, please. It makes my life a lot easier too, because then I can build them when I have time. So I can get them all, lined up and get 10 of them or whatever, and then build them all, and then ship them out. So usually they've been anywhere from like 1 to 2 months or 1 to 2 weeks, but with the vacation and everything, some people are waiting 3 weeks, maybe even a full month. But let me just take you through the stock room real quick. Okay, so that's the clocks. That's all the clocks that are left, which they're all sold. So I just have to build them, waiting on some parts. And then underneath that is the standard ones. So you can tell I got a lot more of them. So yeah, those are still ready to go. Still got screens and all that other stuff and all that crap. So yeah. So yeah, if you want some standards, I still got standards. If you want clocks, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to wait a couple months because I've got a lot of things I need to redesign. These things take too long. It probably takes me about an hour to build one of these a piece. Okay, it takes 3.5 hours to print out a case, and half the time the damn things aren't even looking good. Like I'll get things like this where that little bottom panel gets these like weird scratches on them. They don't look good. I can't sell that. It looks like crap for something that's going to sit in your dash. I can't sell that. So it sucks to see a 3.5 hour print go to waste because the damn printer decided it was going to fuck up. And believe me, this is like the 5th or 6th panel that's done this. It's a real pain in the ass. Problem when you have dual extruders and they drag across each other and the build plate's not flat and all that. Ugh. So yeah, I'd really like to get these injection molded. I'd like to find a company that can do that. I want to find if I can, refine the design, get it where I want, so that I can have them, pump out a bunch of them. I want a back cover so that they are enclosed in the back, so it actually looks like a proper unit, not just a board sitting in a plastic thing. Because when you look at the real clocks, this is a real clock. Okay? Big difference. Big frickin' difference. Especially when we flip them over. Oops. It actually, it looks like something. So, yeah. Really, really cool if I can figure out how to do that. That'll be next. So, if you know anything about injection molding, or any other kind of plastic production, anything that I can get these made for cheap and in, low volume, we're talking like, 50, 100, let me know, because that would help me out a ton. The R.E.M. Clock over here. So she's still doing good. Turn the light on so you can see. Nice and bright. Hey, you fucker. Come on. So yeah, it's not looking too bad. For 3D print quality, that's about as good as I can get. I know some people don't like this texture. They figure it looks kind of, yeah. And, I can kind of understand. When it's in the dash, it does look a little different. But, yeah, they do look pretty clean and everything and with the install. So, yeah, if you're ever curious how you install these, you just take these screws out and got one here and then one on the other side. You just take this whole cover out and then you can get to the panel real easy. But, yeah, I don't know how hard it would be, but it would be really nice if I could get these injection molded. That way I don't have to print them. Because they take way too freaking long. I'm talking 3.5 hours for a print. And it doesn't even do everything I want, because I want to put a back cover on there so it's actually, enclosed and looks a lot more professional than what I have now. Just, I don't have the time for it, man. They take too long, and with the amount of units that are coming out with the scratches on them and all that, it's like, oh, what a nightmare. They take too damn long to build. Like, seriously, these clocks, they are something else, man. That's why I like these guys. They're so easy to build. They're so quick. They're so rugged. They just work. It's nice. I like when things work. But yeah. So we're all out. So it's going to be a while before we get more of these guys. Okay, so that's the case thing out of the way. For design things, I know I have to flip the jack pins. I'm probably going to change the jack location or make it stick out this way so that, the dual switch thing or the SD card stuff doesn't get in the way of that, because that's a pain. The biggest change that I want to do, these teensies right here, I want to embed these right on my board. Because if you look, I don't know how many pins that is. It's like, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. We're looking at close to 40 pins that, these teensies take to put onto the board. And you got to remember, you got to solder those on both ends. You solder them here and you solder them there. That's 80 joints that aren't necessary. The cool thing with PGRC and all the stuff that that guy does, most of it's pretty well open source. You can actually buy the chips preloaded with his half key like bootloader software. So if you buy the chips from him, I think if you buy the tiny chips from him that have the little bootloader, and then you put these guys in here and you do the circuit properly, I can take this chip and put it on the board, just like this one over here. It's directly mounted. I don't have to do any work. It's just already on there. That, oh my god, that'd be a huge time saver. That would probably shave off about 1/3 of the build time. That there. Because after that, there's not a whole lot left. It's just buttons, jack, and screen. The screen takes a little while. So, I don't know. Still got more things I could do. Eventually, the goal would be to get these completely assembled by manufacturer. If I could do that, that would be great. I still got to make sure that the hardware is good, that I don't have any glitches, any bugs, any issues like that, because these ones I've been fighting a lot of I2C issues with the clock talking and the RTC talking and the gyroscope and all that. It's what a bugger. So yeah, I'm still, I don't have the time. I don't have the time. I need time. I have very little. I'm trying to code, build, develop, take orders. I took an entire week's vacation just to get away from it all. Like, entire week of nothing. Just to remember what it's like to not, be buried in this stuff. It's fun, but it can get tiring. So yeah, fixing that. I want to embed that. That's going to take a little bit. So that's that. The standard ones are doing pretty good. I'm pretty happy with them. The only thing I could think of is switching the inputs from voltage dividers to op amps. That way, much better things, higher impedance, so they don't affect the actual signal integrity. So you can send them to other places. I'm thinking about maybe removing the oxygen sensor heater relay voltage pin thing, so we can have a fourth free pin, and we can decide what we want to do with that. I have to see. It might be the same reading that the voltage in the R.E.M already shows. I got to do some testing on that. But yeah, I want to make the signal out a little easier, so if we ever get to tuning, map tuning, stuff like that, reading in wideband oxygen sensors and stuff like that, I want to work on the tuning and see what kind of possibilities that. So I'm going to do that during this development cycle. It's going to be a very big development cycle. I want to do fun things. I'm tired of building. I want to do the coding and the figuring stuff out and making the cool things, and I want to do that. Okay, so we're going to do that. A part of the development thing, so we're going to figure out, we're going to make the clocks better, we're going to make the standard ones, just the chip on board thing. Next, I want to work on the fan controllers. I've been talking about this for probably close to almost a year now. When I first made that prototype, and I finally got that working. And this is the screen I want to use right here. It is a very bright, very bright. Let's turn that down a little bit. Let's get this freaking thing on there. There you go. Better. Yeah, this is a an alphanumeric display. So it's kind of different from the 7 segment because it has all them. It has all them things. So you can make all kinds of different letters and proper symbols and stuff. It's really cool. So yeah, you can get these in tons of different colors. They got like red, they got blue, they got yellow, green, and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, that's gonna be really exciting. This is gonna be the screen that I want to use. It's brighter. It doesn't really seem to flicker as much as the other one, the regular 7 segment. And it's cool stuff. So yeah, I'm really excited to get that going. That's gonna be part of the development cycle as well. So we got fan controller, map tuner, making the R.E.M boards better. I don't remember if there's anything else I wanted to build. There's a lot. There's so much. Oh my goodness. On top of that, I've been getting better at coding and stuff like that. I wanted to make a proper update for the old models, the version 1, version 2, version 3, the alpha, beta, and plus models. I want to do like one final performance update to make the buttons better, make the data read-in better. Maybe see if there's any room at all for new features. Again, I'm still at the 99% mark, and I'm running really low on RAM, so it's going to be difficult to add anything. But I just want to make them a little more stable now that I have learned so much. And that is the nice thing about these the R.E.M2s, is with the teensies. They're just so powerful. I can just code and do whatever I want. I can think of something and not worry about being, limited by program space or speed or anything. These things are monsters. They're so capable. It's great. I can just do. I don't have to worry about picking and choosing. I can just put everything in there. So, first, let's take you into the car, and I'll show you what the fan control looks like, and, so you can remember what the heck that is. And then we'll come back and talk about some R.E.M stuff. So, another one we want to look at is... Oh god, that's so dirty. The fan controller. So that's gonna be the next one right there. Is the fan controller. So I would like to add, I think, 3 buttons. So right now, with the prototype that I have, we have an LED up here to show you what fan's on. It's got the current temperature. So the bottom button changes to the next menu, and the top button changes the menu. So right now we're in auto mode. So we also have manual control, so if you need to turn the fan... Oops, wrong one. Hey, motherfucker. Okay. So if we need to turn it off, we can turn it off for, puddle crossing or whatever the heck you want to do if your fans are acting up. And you have manual low, manual medium, and manual high. And then we also have, what the heck are you doing? You also have the manual temperature control for when they turn on and off and all that. By having 3 buttons, I could get rid of the duplicate menus. So instead of like increase, decrease, we can just have increase, decrease on the same screen. So that way we're just flipping through all the temperatures. I'm also thinking about making something called a target mode. So instead of changing, you know, each fan temperature on, temperature off, all that shit, instead what we'll do is we'll have a target temperature. So you say, okay, I want the engine to be at like 215, all right? And then you change the sensitivity. So you can turn the sensitivity up or down so the fans come on earlier or later. So instead of going through a billion different menus trying to fine tune everything, you just set the temperature you want and then change the sensitivity. So that should be a little easier for on the trail and on the road messing with. Also up here, if you can see that, we got a manual, completely manual override switch. So in case the unit ever bugs out, fan comes on. Even if this thing doesn't have any power, flip that switch, it should work. So that is a very important safety feature. I also want to add some smart code in here, so if the sensor's not detected, if it's detected as shorted or it's detected as not connected, it'll automatically set the unit to low. So that way you're not burning up if the thing poops out on you. So yeah, this thing paired with that alphanumeric screen, I think we're in the money there. So yeah, I'll have to start working on that. Okay, so you saw that. That's pretty cool stuff, right? There are a few things in the code that I've been doing, so a quick little Renix update. Okay, so now we are up to Renix version 0.851. So that's the newest, latest and greatest business. Fun fact, we are now past 255 units. So that is that's sweet. So yeah, that's a little nerd thing right there. We're finally out of the byte, you know. There no more 8-bit stuff. We're going into the 16-bit territory. So that's really cool that I was actually able to make you know, over 256 units. It's, you know, it's just, that's awesome. So yeah, we'll run you through some of the stuff. Everything's kind of the same. Right now, we have the menus are split a little more now. So you still got your vehicle display and units. But now we got more. So now our clock is broken into its own menu. You got fan support, and it's broken out a little better. So you can see each fan in the setup. Now we can kill them if you want, so you can turn them all off real quick. And we can also set the pin. Because some people, you know, the pins will be here, or be there, or whatever the heck, however you have it set up. So you can sit here and, you know, instead of having to pull each wire and mess it all around until you get it just right, you can actually tell it, you know, what pin it's on, and be good to go. And you can do that for each pin. So, yeah. This stuff is still the same. You can turn it on, turn it off. You can go to auto. You can go to edit. So you have our temperature on, our temperature off, and AC control. So you can tell it to turn on with the AC or not. That's cool. That's cool. What else we got here? Got the clock stuff. I'd show you, I revamped the clock thing so now the blinky thing works properly. With the 24-hour mode, now the clock actually updates properly in 24-hour mode. So, yeah, that's kind of important for people that care about that stuff. We also got an advanced mode now, so this is where you get to your Bluetooth, your gyroscope. This one doesn't have one, so I can't show you, but the gyroscope kind of works now, at least on the regular models. I still have to figure out why they don't work right on the clock models. Bunch of crap. So we have an offset, so you can set this one and that one, so that when it sits on your dash, it reads 0. Useful stuff. We also have USB output, so now you can plug this into a computer like so, and yeah, when the vehicle's running, it'll actually spit out the raw numbers that the ECU gives you in strings, and you can actually look at them later, which is really cool. So you can chart them and see what the heck what your stuff is doing. We still haven't gotten a program yet to really read that. I still also have to do the SD card logging at some point too. But anyway, it'll look something like this. So it just spits out, you know, row after row after row of numbers. And you can chart it and see what the stuff looks like. So yeah, there's all kinds of sensors and stuff like that. We're getting places. We're getting places. It's a lot of work, man. Oh my goodness, it drives me nuts. Oh, and yeah, the reboot option. So now we don't have to flip it over. to push the white button anymore, because with the clock panels, that's not possible. You'd have to take it out of the car, and that sucks. So now instead of having to push that button to reboot, now you can go into the option menu right here and push either the left or the right, and it'll force reboot that way too. So that's actually really cool. So that way, yeah, you don't have to take it out of the vehicle anymore. So that's very nice. So, yeah. The only thing left, we got to do the micro SD card data logging. That'll be something big that I got to do. I think almost all the other features work. I got the gyroscope mostly going, except for like the compass stuff. Some of them readings are a little complicated. Oh yeah, that's a thing. Something interesting. So once we move all this teensy stuff over on board directly, we don't have to worry about these things. We won't be limited by our USB port location anymore. So I can put the USB port wherever I want it. So that's a question. Where would you guys want the USB port at? I don't know what the best location would be. There's not too many places I could really put it. I guess it could either be, you know, at the bottom where it's at now, or move it over a little, or at the top, or maybe on the left side. I don't know. Or I guess the right side over here. Yeah, I don't know. Design questions, but yeah. If you're ever wondering where you want to put the port, you can let me know. Software stuff. Okay, so there's a couple software things I really... Well, actually, there's a lot of software things I want to get to. But two things. One was a really cool idea I had. By using the custom characters in here, I wanted to see... There's a total of 8. So I can make custom characters to move stuff around. I wanted to see if I could make a line graph, so that you can actually watch sensors and stuff by doing some really fancy bit shifting and stuff to show that on screen as like a line graph. And I actually got it to kind of work. I still need to clean it up a little bit so that when lines are, you know, bigger than one gap, it draws the rest of it so they connect. Let me see if I can dig up the video to show you, but it's actually really cool stuff. So if, yeah, I can get that a little better. I'd like to code that in. So maybe when you push the gauge and then you hold down, maybe it would show the graph or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure that out. So let me see if I can find the clip and show you that. Okay, so real quick, I just want to show a really cool idea I had. After seeing everyone do all their graphing stuff, I kind of wanted in on the fun. So I had an idea of making custom characters that would represent a line graph. And that's not as easy as it sounds. It's a lot of bit shifting and dividing to get everything to work right. And the biggest downfall that I found is there's only 8 registers in the screen, so we can only make 8 spots. I thought maybe I could just switch back and forth, but they update even when you don't update them. But anyway, enough talk. Let me show you what it looks like. So, as you can see, there's 4 rows on the top, or 4 columns, I guess I should say. And you can actually see what the TPS looks like when you push the pedal down. So, we have a little bootleg graph running off of a character display, which is a rather tricky business. There's lots of lines of code in here, and some creative math to get this to work right. But I just thought I'd show that off. I had a little idea, and I was able to figure it out. The only thing I don't like is when you go real fast, it starts, you start to lose what it looks like. I'd have to create, I don't know, I'd have to figure out some way to do the math so that the lines connect to each other when they're more than one apart. Not quite sure how I do that. Not quite sure if I feel like pursuing it any more than this. But I just thought that was really cool, you know? You get yourself a little graph on something that's not graphable. It's a very clever trick here. Just thought you might like to see that. All right, so that's pretty cool. So that is the first one. The second one that I wanted to work on was average MPG. I feel like this entire project, that was kind of my drive. I wanted to see what the Jeep's MPG was. After being able to see it in the Civic for so much, I wanted to see what it was like in the Jeep so that I could drive it a little better. Because right now it gets anywhere like when you drive it on the highway, I think it's like 10 miles to the gallon. It is terrible. It is obnoxious. It is absurd. 10 miles to the gallon. Come on, man. God, barely squeezed more than 200 miles out of a tank. It sucks. But yeah, average MPG. So, we now have, it's still test code, but I have like a digital odometer so that you can read how many miles you went. And also, like fuel tracking, so you can see how much fuel was used. That runs off the injector pulse width. So with some fancy math, I was actually able to have it add over time, so you can see how much fuel, how much miles, all that stuff throughout the trip, and then it'll give you an average. So the next part is going to be saving it to the device. So I guess I'll have to save in intervals. It'd be nice if I could just save it when the car was like ready to shut off or something, but it's just the EEPROM has limited cycles. It's got like 100,000 read writes to it, so I guess just write cycles. So, you know, it should be okay, but, you know, if you're writing to it like every, you know, second or something like that, they add up. Let's do some quick math here. 100,000 divided by, what, 60? That's 1,666 minutes. Another 60, that's only 27 hours. Yeah, that's nothing. That's terrible. You can't have that. They burn out so quick. So I got to figure out something better with that. But yeah, the next part would be fuel tracking, so you can see how many miles you have left on a tank, how many gallons you used over a tank, things like that. That's the really cool stuff I really want to get into. So that way you kind of have a good idea of what you got left. So I'll show you what that looks now. Alright, so we got some test code here and some really bouncy footage. You're going to like this. Hold on one sec. Okay. So we have our regular MPG, which I'm sure you're familiar with. But now we also got average MPG. Ooh. So, if you notice over here, on the right, you can see the average. And the top right is the test code I got going on. So the first number here, this is our mileage. We went 3.52 miles. And this over here is how many gallons we used on the trip. Right now we used 0.335 gallons of gas. So you can see that comes out to about 10.5 average. So that is actually really cool stuff. It seemed to track really well, and I'm impressed. So as you you know, give her gas, the numbers go. Pretty cool. So yeah, with a little more work, I'd like to add tank averages and stuff like that, and have it remember over time and things like that. The hardest part is just going to be telling it to remember the value, because it never knows when the vehicle is going to get shut off. And also, if you see something like this, the engine's not running, but it still thinks it's using fuel because the injector reading gets stuck and all that. But there's a couple things to figure out, but I really like where this is going. Average MPG is something I've wanted for so long, so I'm glad we finally got something figured out there. I am psyched on that. That is cool beans right there. So that's what we're looking like after a long trip. We got 25.2 miles and 1.9 gallons. Pretty cool. So now I just got to figure out how to save the values without wearing out the EEPROM. Okay, so yeah, that's some of the fun code stuff that I've been doing, some of the device things I've been doing, some of the new products I want to start building. But like I said, this is going to be a long design cycle because I have a lot I want to look into. You know, moving these chips over and getting them to work and figuring all the little things. There's going to be bugs. There's going to be stuff that doesn't work. There's going to be so much. I bet you there's going to be so much that goes wrong with these trying to do that. So it's going to take a lot of work. But it needs to be done. I can make these little guys in 15 minutes. That's not bad. But cutting the teensy off, I'd probably cut the time almost in half. I could probably build these in under 10 minutes. That would be great. That would be fast enough that I could do that. And especially with these clocks, I need to be able to save every single second I can because it's awful. It takes so much time. So yeah, I need to be able to speed things up. So I'm sorry if you guys really wanted some, but I don't have any time. I really don't have any time at all. So the more time I can save, the more cool things I can do, and the more product I can get out. So I need to take the time now to save the time later. Oh, come on, add something. Add something. Come back. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Something about time saving, something about building, something about fast and cool and... Oh, you motherfucker. But yeah, it's just going to be a while, so... Yeah, message me on Facebook, or you can go on the website and fill out the pre-order request form if you want, so you can check that out. So like I said, I'm out of clocks, but if you need to get one, we have a pre-order request form, so it'll send me an email. So you put your name, your email, the model you want, all the things, any comments, things like that. It'll send me a little email, and I can set you up and put you on the list. So, and then I'll ask you for PayPal later. So yeah, if you need item descriptions, again, go to the product page, please. Look at all the descriptions, all the things, all the upgrades, all the stuff and whatnot. That's, yeah. Yeah, website, man. Got everything you need. Printer still running strong, doing all that shit. So, got little lights on there so I can see what it's doing now. It's kind of cool. Yeah, things take time. I want to do a lot. I want to do a lot of coding, a lot of building, a lot of cool things, but it all takes time. So, yeah. Just figured I'd let you guys know what's going on. So it's, yeah, I don't know if I'm ever going to get to a public sale or anything like that, but it's going to be a design break while I start working on the latest stuff. So yeah, hopefully I can get everything straightened out and keep everything on track. You know, I've got lots of ideas and lots of things I'd like to do and try, but again, it all just comes down to time. So yeah, happy holidays and all that stuff. Hopefully I can get my life straightened out, keep things going. I always say it's going to be rough for the videos, because it always feels like it, but I don't know, it always feels like it's going to slow down and get tough. It's always been kind of tough, but hey, we're almost at 10,000 subscribers. It's freaking awesome, so yeah, you guys rock. I might have to do something about that. We'll see. Maybe another giveaway or something. Who knows? Okay, I'm very sleepy, so let me know what you think. Any ideas, any cool stuff, any stuff you want me to try, do, code, whatever. Let me know. Alright. See y'all.